and Information Science at the University of Mysore. He earned his master's degree here in 1978, securing the first rank, followed by his PhD in 1989. His career is deeply intertwined with the academic fabric of our university, where he served with immense distinction as the university librarian. Beyond his core leadership of the university library system, Dr. Ramshesh has shouldered numerous vital administrative and academic responsibilities. He served as Deputy Director of the Center for Information Science and Technology at the University of Mysore from 2002 to 2006. He lent his leadership as the coordinator of the Dr. S. Radhakrishnan Center for Philosophy from 2013 to 2023. He further enriched academia by as a visiting professor for the Sri Vyasya Study Chair during 2021-22. His contribution to institutional governance were formally recognized through his tenure as a member of Academic Council of the University of Mysore from 2011 to 2016. An ardent researcher and mentor, Dr. Ramshesh has successfully guided 13 doctoral candidates to the completion of their PhD program, shaping the next generation of researchers and professionals. Generations of scholars hold a special place of gratitude for him. If you flip through the pages of numerous doctoral theses submitted to our university, you will find his name proudly mentioned in their acknowledgements, a testament to the incredible wealth of information, guidance, and support he so generously provided throughout his active service. Furthermore, his academic footprints extends internationally, having visited countries such as USA, Great Britain, Czech Republic, Italy, and Japan for professional engagement. With this brief introduction, I warmly invite Dr. C.P. Ramshesh to take over the visual session and address the gathering. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everybody. At the outset, I would like
Good afternoon,
academic and also the coordinator, Professor Harinarayana, for having given me an opportunity to share before you certain trends and issues pertaining to research ethics. Of late, there has been emphasis on improving the originality of research output, improving the quality of research output. In this direction, several measures have been taken by national bodies like University Grant Commission, All India Council of Technical Education, Indian Council of Medical Research, Indian Council of Agricultural Research. Teachers and researchers are expected to publish research papers from time to time, including librarians. Librarians are also expected to publish a research paper from time to time. When they contribute research paper to journals, invariably it has to be in a journal carrying international standard serial number. Librarians are familiar with all these aspects, performance indicators, how to measure the research performance, and the qualitative aspect of research publications.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. Slide is not showing.
Slide is not visible, sir.
Invisible.
The PPT is not visible, sir.
Yes.
Now, madam?
Yes,
Yes, madam. Now
it's
visible.
Yes, visible.
Teachers and researchers are expected to publish research papers time to time, including librarians. When they contribute research article to journals, invariably it has to be in a journal carrying international standard serial number. When they bring out books, that book should carry international standard book number. This number is going to be given by Rajaram Mohan Rai National Agency for ISBN. It's a department attached to Ministry of HRD. Then when you attend interview, then the chairman board of appointment occasionally may ask you How many of your articles are published in refereed journals or peer-reviewed journals? There will be referees before accepting your publication for journals. They go through the article, they may suggest you to update the statistics, they may suggest you to render citations in a definite format, or they may ask you to revise the concluding part. Then finally, they will communicate you, your article has been accepted for publication. Refereed journals or peer-reviewed journals. Then sole authorship. Now the trend is, you have published so many articles, okay? In how many articles you are there as sole author? Or in how many articles you are there as first author? The trend is that they are going to ask this question. Even though if you are there as second author, third author, they are not going to consider. They ask you in how many articles you are there as first author. Then the quality of the journal is determined based on the impact factor. Impact factor speaks about the quality of the journal. The quality is always determined based on the extent of use. Total number of references divided by total number of articles published in the journals gives rise to the impact factor. I am not going in detail to impact factor and H-index. Almost all librarians are familiar with the impact factor and H-index. H-index speaks about the performance, research performance of the institution. There is H-index for individual university, H-index for individual department, and H-index for individual faculty or research scholar. So if I say my H-index is 40 of my papers, each of these 40 papers carry minimum of 40 citations. Sometimes the UGC review committee, when they come and visit our institution, they ask us, how come librarians are particular about H-index? Why can't you go for I-10 criterion? What is I-10 index or I-10 criterion? You might have published 100 articles. Out of 100, how many articles have been cited by minimum 10 authors, 10 and more than 10 authors? I-10 60. I-10 60 means 60 of your papers carry minimum of 10 citations. 10 citations. Each of these 60 papers carry 10 and more than 10 citations. That is I-10 criterion. There is a G index and there is M index, and also Altmetrics collects the expert comments on the research article. This speaks about the qualitative aspect. The rest is quantitative aspect. Citation metrics speaks about the performance, research performance. However, Altmetrics collects expert comments on research articles. Then finally, the percentage of similar content. When the articles are scanned with plagiarism software, that indicates the similar content, not the plagiarized content, similar content. Higher the similar content, lower is the quality of research paper. Lower the percentage of similar content, higher is the quality of research paper. These are the aspects to be considered for evaluating the quality of research papers. Then what is research ethics? Honesty or sincerity in presenting the proposal. You will be submitting research proposal, you will be submitting the synopsis. One should be sincere and honest in presenting the synopsis, the aspects that are there that are included in the synopsis. Then one should be sincere and honest in collecting the data while doing the fieldwork or doing experimentation and collecting the data and presenting the data. And sincerity in methods and materials used. Finally, honesty and sincerity in drafting the thesis, research reporting, or documenting the research work. So together, we can say moral principle that guide researchers to conduct and report research without harming the participants, environment, and society. Further, not to indulge in fabrication, falsification, and plagiarism. These three are very important aspects that come under research ethics. So some of the idioms and phrases are covered here. I have gathered frequently used phrases under the subject of research ethics. Cut corners. What do you mean by cut corners? Tomorrow, one of my friends approaches me and he says, next month we are organizing one national seminar in our college. If a paper is already ready with you, please give it to us. We will see that it is published in the conference volume. In that case, what I do, I will take one of the articles already published 6 months ago. I will thoroughly alter the title of the article. First paragraph I will revise. Conclusion I will revise. I will update the references. Here and there I will exclude some of the sentences and I will submit the same for publication. Rehash, cut corners and submit the same for publication amounts to self-plagiarism. It has already been published by you, but you are publishing it for the second time. Rehash, that has to be avoided. Second one is salami slicing. What do you mean by salami slicing? For example, I have taken up a research project on use of newspapers and magazines in libraries. I am collecting data from all of you. So you are giving responses to a particular objective and hypothesis. What is that? Use of newspapers and magazines in libraries. So ultimately what I am going to do, I will publish 3 papers instead of 1 research paper. I will convert that into 3 papers. 3 papers. Use of Kannada newspapers in libraries, use of sports magazines in libraries, use of English newspapers in libraries. Had I told you that I would be publishing 3 articles, your responses would have been different. But I projected one hypothesis, broad hypothesis, use of newspapers and magazines in libraries. But ultimately, what I did, I published 3 articles. Slicing, salami slicing, that has to be avoided. Next one is fabrication. Refers to inventing data. Many a time researchers do, they will not sometimes they will not include a very important question in the questionnaire. Then there will not be data or responses from the participants. Finally, what I do, I will put 19% here, 22% here, 18% here, and the remaining 33% here. All put together, it becomes 100%. Cooked up data, false data, imaginary data. So this is fabrication. This has to be avoided. Research misconduct. Falsification refers to misinterpretation or misrepresentation of data. So 49% of the students are regularly attending the class. 49%, I am going to interpret that one as a large majority of the students are regularly attending the class. No, 49% is not the large majority. It is even less than 50% of the students. So I am interpreting that data as large majority. Majority of the student is not majority. Sometimes I will draw the graph, bar diagrams, vertical bar diagrams in such a way that bar A and bar B, not much difference between bar A and bar B. But when you refer to the data, lot of difference is there. Bar A represents 60% of the score. Bar B reference 40% of the score. There's a lot of difference, 20 units of differences. But if you refer to the graph, not much difference is there between graph A and graph B. All these aspects come under research misconduct. Then publication misconduct. What are the aspects that are covered under publication misconduct? Ghost authorship. What is ghost authorship? The original author, the author who is responsible for writing the article is not revealed at all. Sometimes book, when the book is published, the original author is not revealed at all. The person who is responsible for writing the book, his name is not at all there in the book. That is ghost authorship. Writing on behalf of someone else. That is ghost authorship. Gift authorship. So for having received some favor or for having received lunch for a period of 1 month, I am going to include my friend as the first author of the research article. That is gift author. I am giving him a gift authorship. Third one is sold authorship. There are academicians, retired academicians. If you provide the data, they will prepare the thesis or research report within 3 months for a sum of 2 lakh rupees, 3 lakh rupees, or 4 lakh rupees. They will write the thesis and they will get the money. That is sold authorship. Disputed authorship. Disputed. Here, I have prepared a research article. I am going to include the name of my friend as the first author. I am from the field of library science. He may belong to chemistry discipline. But when the article is published, people wonder how come this chemistry man is there in the research article of library science. That is disputed authorship. Then finally, plagiarism. What is plagiarism? Very important. You please focus your attention here. Plagiarism means borrowing the ideas of others. Don't forget this one. Borrowing the ideas of others. The definition doesn't say borrowing the sentences, borrowing the paragraphs. No, borrowing the ideas. Therefore, even if you change the sentences, even if you alter the paragraph, even if you summarize and write in your own language, even then it is treated as plagiarism because you are borrowing the ideas of others. It is termed as literary theft. Then sham phrase or paraphrasing. So I have taken a paragraph of 6 lines. So I am supposed to put quotation mark and render citation for that particular paragraph for having taken that one to my research article. Now what I am going to do, I will not take that one as it is and put the quotation mark. So I will alter here and there. I will exclude some of the words. I will change some of the words so that the anti-plagiarism software will not detect that one. That is called sham paraphrasing. I will show the example afterwards. Then predatory conferences. What does it mean? Some of the people, they come together, they organize conferences and seminars. They invite you to be there as a director of the conference. They invite you to be there as a deputy director of the conference. They invite you to be there as editor of the volume, assistant editor of the volume, chairman of a session, rapporteur of a session. Like that, all of you will be invited. They will assign responsibilities. They will bring out volume also. Their intention is to make money and disappear overnight. They may collect 12 lakh rupees. So they organize a conference for 2 days. They spend 5 lakh or 6 lakh rupees for hosting lunch, for publication, and T&DA for resource person, and they go away with 6 lakh rupees. Their intention is to make money. So we have to be very careful. All these come under predatory seminars and predatory conferences. Predatory journals are there. UGC says any faculty member, including librarians, if you take part in predatory conferences or predatory seminars, or if you contribute research article to predatory journals, your publication will not be considered for selection, will not be considered for promotion, will not be considered for CIS, will not be considered for scholarship. Circular is there, we have to be very careful. Then common knowledge, all men are mortal, Socrates is a man, therefore Socrates is mortal. This is a popular statement of Aristotle. This doesn't require citation. Popular sentences, acts, government acts, central government acts, doesn't require citations. Predatory journals. Predatory journals, their main intention is to make money and disappear overnight. Most of these journals are online journals. As soon as you effect payment, they ask you to make payment of 8,000 rupees or 9,000 rupees. As soon as you make payment, they say your article is published. They will not go through your article. They will not make grammatical corrections. They will not complete your sentences without any editorial process. They will publish your article as it is online. Their intention is to make money. That's all. So you are not supposed to publish your research article in predatory journals. Then no harm. Experiment and researchers' outcome should not be harmful to society, animals, and respondents. Then you have to maintain confidentiality. Sometimes you obtain responses from people or doctors or library users, engineers, doctors. So you have to maintain the confidentiality of those who have given responses to your questionnaire or responses to your interviews. Then finally, whistleblowing. If you think that a research work is harmful to the environment, it is nothing but abuse of authorities, it is nothing but waste of resources, you can bring it to the attention of the authorities to avoid waste and other hazards. All these come under research misconduct. So American Psychological Society has conducted a survey considering all aspects of research misconduct. So here you can see a large portion refers to redundancy, repetition, publishing it for the second time, third time, like that. Plagiarism, extent of plagiarism is only to an extent of 7%. 7%. Duplication, 15%. Data fabrication, 8%. Animal welfare concern, 16%. Like that, so many aspects that come under research misconduct. Predatory journals. You see, there are so many journals from India. So many journals from India. We have to be very careful while contributing our papers to online journals. So even if you publish a research article in predatory journals, or if you take part in predatory seminars and conferences, if you contribute your article to proceedings, that will not be considered for selection, promotion, CIS, and scholarship. Then there are certain guidelines for editors, reviewers, publishers, as well as authors. So what are the instructions that are there for authors by UGC? Then present your article. If you are preparing or if you are preparing an article or if you are contribute an article to a journal, please note that these are the aspects suggested. Present, there should be some objectives and hypotheses in your research report or research papers. Significance of research should be there. Accurate and reliable records of data be maintained for reference and verification afterwards. Then referencing system. You should be familiar with the referencing styles. Which referencing style you have selected. Uniformity and consistency should be maintained. Avoid misconduct, misbehavior, fraudulent data, plagiarism, multiple submission. All these aspects to be taken into consideration. Further, ensure originality and contribute with responsibility. Acknowledge financial support, your supervisors and your guides. Participate in peer review process or referees. Definition of plagiarism. What is the definition? Borrowing the ideas of others and presenting them as if they are my ideas without citing the source or without giving credit to the author is plagiarism. I am repeating it again. Borrowing the ideas of others. Don't forget ideas. You are borrowing the ideas of others and presenting them as if they are my ideas without giving references or without giving credit to the authors. Who has published this one originally and where it has been published. I am not going to indicate the source. All these come under literary theft or plagiarism. You are free to borrow the sentences, you are free to borrow the paragraph, whatever you want you can borrow, no problem. But those paragraphs and those sentences should be within quotes, quotation marks as indicated here in this slide. So if you use anti-plagiarism software, it will go through the entire article and it will scan and it will find out from where you have borrowed some of the contents. First of all, at the outset, the report will be like this. Report will be like this. Left-hand side is your research report, your manuscript. Right-hand side is the sources from where you have copied the content. You have copied the content. On the top right-hand side, there is 50% indication. That means 50% of the content you have taken from 50% of the content is original of your own. Then what about the remaining 50%? Remaining 50% you have copied from various sources. What are those sources? Source number 1, 35%. You have copied up to 35%. Source number 2 up to 4%, 3, 3%, 4, 2%, 5, 2%, like that all put together it becomes 50%. 50% is your contribution and remaining 50% you have copied from various sources. In the next stage, it will allow you to compare side by side. Left-hand side is your manuscript. Right-hand side is the website from where you have copied up to 3%. Only the heading is original. You can see left-hand side. Heading is not highlighted in red color. The rest of the portion is highlighted in red color because it amounts to blatant plagiarism. Everything has been copied. Second example, here the author has copied even the heading as well. 2 paragraphs he has taken from a website. Another example, left-hand side is a research article. Right-hand side, it is up to 38% the author has copied from various sources. What are those sources? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. To what extent they have copied? It is indicated on the right-hand side. 3%, 3%, 2%, 2%, like that. Here is another case. The author has made first sentence as the last sentence and he has made the last sentence as the first sentence. Even though if you alter the sequence of sentences, the anti-plagiarism software will detect, even if you alter the sequence of sentences. This is a case of Urkund. Left-hand side is the manuscript. Blatant plagiarism. Entire content the author has copied. Entire content. So who has to decide whether it is a plagiarized content or not? Who has to decide? Usually the author, the researcher has to decide along with the guide, in consultation with the guide. Guide and the researcher together, they have to decide whether it is a plagiarized content or not. It is left to their discretion. They can retain if they want, or if they want to exclude, they have to put a tick against the box shown on the right-hand side. All highlighted contents will not be considered as plagiarized content. The author or the researcher, he has to decide whether it is. There are 2 alternatives. If you want to retain the content as it is, you have to render citation, you have to put references. Another alternative is, if it is not so important, you can exclude the content or exclude the paragraph. There are only 2 alternatives. Now here I am projecting 2 sentences. After the class, many students move towards the canteen or hostel for lunch. They go by walk on the road for about 10 to 15 minutes and reach the hostel. I have copied the sentence as it is. What is plagiarism? Borrowing the ideas of others. What core idea is there in the first sentence? No core idea is there in the first sentence. Even if I copy as it is, nobody is going to complain because core idea is not at all there. All right, if I copy the second sentence, survey depicts that 45% of the students are vegetarians and 54% are non-vegetarian. Vegetarians rely upon the college hostel for lunch and the rest of the students not take non-vegetarian food from the outside restaurant. If I copy the second sentence, there will be definitely complaint because I am borrowing the research data of someone else. I am not supposed to. In such cases, if I want to retain the content, I have to render references, citation. Or if it is not so important for my research work, I can exclude the complete sentence. There are two alternatives. Now, using artificial intelligence, some of the researchers do research misconduct. So idea plagiarism. So I will alter the sentences. I will break down the technical term into simple sentences. So even though I have altered the sentence, it's treated as plagiarism because I'm borrowing the idea. I will retain the idea. I will alter the sequence of sentences and the words used using artificial intelligence tools. So even then it is plagiarism. Next one is AI generated text and images. So thesis should be prepared by the researcher, not by AI tool. Some of the anti-plagiarism software detect if the content is AI generated. Then if I translate, the original is in English, I will be translating that one into Kannada. Even then it is treated as plagiarized content because idea doesn't belong to me. Then AI paraphrasing. If the content is in 2 pages, I will summarize the entire content into 1 page and I will say that it is projected as my article. No, it is AI paraphrased content. Sham paraphrasing. Here and there, I will alter some of the words. That is called sham paraphrasing. Sham paraphrasing, I have taken an example. You see the original source. The rapid rise of generative AI has created severe challenges for academic integrity within the global higher education system. That is the sentence published in one of the journal articles. Now, sham paraphrase. I will alter the sentence so that the anti-plagiarism software will not detect. So I will exclude rapid rise. Instead of rapid rise, I have put quick growth. Then further, instead of created severe, I have put built tough. Then further challenges for academic integrity within. Instead of within, I have used the word inside. Instead of within, I have used inside. So higher education system, I have excluded that one and I have put university system. So I have altered so that this particular sentence will not be detected by or will not be highlighted by anti-plagiarism software. No, this is not acceptable. This is called sham paraphrasing using artificial intelligence. How it should be? According to Smith, this is the style of referencing system. American Psychological Association. Immediately after the surname of the author, within parentheses, the year of publication and page number is given within parentheses. The rapid rise of generative AI has created severe challenges for academic integrity. It should be quoted like this, along with the author and citation. So anti-plagiarism software, if you summarize or if you reduce, paraphrase, even if you project the citation, it will be highlighted. All such content will be treated as similar content. You are not supposed to take the sentence as it is. That amounts to plagiarism. Please note this one. Plagiarism should not be there even 1% in your research report or thesis. 1% of plagiarized content is not acceptable. Similar content may be acceptable up to 10% according to UGC, according to 25% according to VTU, 30% according to University of Mysore. In some of the universities, they allow 20% for preliminary chapters and only 10% for core chapters. So using anti-plagiarism software, there are a number of software packages used all over the world. UGC is recommending Drillbit anti-plagiarism software. Drillbit is from Bangalore-based company. So we have used it. It scans even thesis prepared in local languages, regional languages, Kannada, Tamil, Telugu, like that. So the report will be like this. Left-hand side, name of the researcher, then title of the research paper or research report, then name of the guide, language in which the thesis is prepared, quality of the grammar used, grammatical mistakes, to what extent it is acceptable, okay. Up to 64%, up to 65%, it is okay. Then content generated by AI, to what extent? 16%, 38%, 14%, like that. The Turnitin and Authenticate will identify AI generated content. Then further, similarity content, similarity should not exceed 25% or 10% according to UGC. In some of the cases, here it is up to 36%. No university will accept it is up to 36%. He has to revise and resubmit. So this is a report generated by Drillbit anti-plagiarism software. Sometimes the software will indicate if the quoted text is beyond 15%. For example, if you write a research report of 100 pages, up to 15 pages, it is acceptable. If it is beyond 15 pages, the software will identify in red color, red triangle, as indicated in this slide here. So if it is a thesis of 200 pages, quoted text, if it is beyond 30 pages, it will indicate in red color. Citation. To avoid plagiarism, the authors or researchers are expected to render citations or references. How do you differentiate references and bibliography? There is difference between bibliography and references. Please note this one. Bibliography means list of sources consulted. You have not taken any information from that source. Very important source relevant to the topic of your research, but you have not taken any information from that one. It is very important, therefore you would like to include under bibliography. What are references? For having taken a definition, for having taken a statistical data, you have to render references. Page number, source, and everything you have to include. Usually references will be at the end of every chapter and bibliography will be at the end of the thesis. If you take the content from website, in that case, at the end you have to indicate the date on which you have retrieved. I have shown in this slide, retrieved on 18 September 2016, because the same content will not be there after 1 year. They may scrap the website or they may revise the content of the website. So referencing styles, the researcher should be familiar with referencing style, very important. Someone may ask you which referencing style you have followed in your thesis. You should be familiar with the referencing style, and uniformity and consistency should be there in rendering citations. American Psychological Association, social science researchers and library science researchers usually prefer American Psychological Association style format. It depends on the guide. Guide will suggest you which referencing style you have to follow. Then MLA handbook, Modern Language Association style or Chicago style manual. Mathematics student may prefer American Mathematical Society format, American Mathematical Association format. Then Oxford system of referencing. Literature student, sometimes they prefer Oxford system of reference and rendering references under footnote. Then Harvard system of referencing, similar to APS style. Engineering student may prefer IEEE, Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers style. Vancouver referencing style, Canada. British Standard referencing style, 1, 2, 3, 4 indicating like that. So there are number of reference style. You have to select one style. Usually journals will indicate which referencing style you have to follow. If it is a thesis, the guide will tell you or the university will tell you which referencing style you have to adopt. Then the references, you should be good in rendering references manually. If you are not good in rendering references manually, you may rely upon reference managers software packages, EndNote, product of Clarivate Analytics, then Mendeley, product of Elsevier. So if you throw the data, it will arrange according to the style selected by APS style or IEEE style, any style you prefer. The software will arrange the bibliography or references in that particular pattern. Zotero, open source, papers, product of Springer. These are reference managers. So anti-plagiarism software, there are so many anti-plagiarism software packages are there. First three, Authenticate, Turnitin, RightCheck, all the three are from the same company, iParadigms, California, USA. Authenticate is extensively used in research institutions and to scan doctoral thesis. Turnitin is for student submission, dissertations like MTech dissertation or research dissertation like that. Then Scan, Urkund Swedish software, we were using UGC was recommending it between 2016 and 2021. Then 21 onwards, original anti-plagiarism software, combination of Urkund and Scan of Germany. Then finally, since 2024, UGC is recommending Drillbit anti-plagiarism software because there is understanding between Drillbit and InflipNet Center. So whatever that is there in Shodhganga website, as of today, about 7 lakh theses are there, full text thesis. So all these theses are given to Drillbit. If you copy any content from any of these theses, the software will highlight. That is the advantage of Drillbit. So Turnitin is most authoritative and reliable anti-plagiarism software because the database coverage is 75 billion pages. 1 billion is equal to 100 crore. 75 billion means 7,500 crore pages. It will cross-check in 15 minutes and gives the report. So quick. They have purchased 1,15,000 journals. No software, no company has purchased so many ebooks, so many e-journals for their databases. That is the advantages of Turnitin and Authenticate anti-plagiarism software. Both are from the same company, American software packages, reliable ones. Now, software will not identify graphics, photographs, and images. So it will identify only the textual information. In Mysore University, a few years back, there was a complaint. Your researcher has copied my Rangoli designs. The case is before the Karnataka High Court. Your researcher has copied my Rangoli designs. In one of the case, it happened so. It happened like this. One of the local colleges conducted interview for the post of assistant professor. The principal happened to be the chairman of the selection committee. He asked one of the candidates, what is your topic of research? He said, my topic, he told the topic of his research. The principal was astonished. How come this man is telling my topic of research? How come this candidate is telling my topic of research? He was annoyed. Then further he said, have you brought the copy of the thesis? Yeah, he said, yes, I have brought the copy of the thesis. He handed over the thesis. He went through the content. Same table, same data, same interpretation. The principal was shocked. He said, you leave the thesis with me and you can collect in the evening by 6 o'clock. Further, he discussed with his colleague and after 1 week, he wrote a complaint to the university. University referring to the Gazette notification, Government of India Gazette notification, they formulated a committee, malpractice committee. Then the guide was also summoned. The guide said, as far as the content of the thesis is concerned, there is no problem. Further, he said, as far as the quality of the thesis is concerned, there is no problem. But the student never told me that he copied from this particular thesis. I was kept totally in darkness. The guide escaped. The student was caught. This was one of the cases. In another case, it so happened that during 2016, one of the researchers from a department, he submitted a thesis during 2016. That thesis was scanned using Turnitin. It indicated 16% of similar content. The thesis was awarded PhD degree in 2016. Then another researcher belonging to another department copied the entire thesis during 2021. He also submitted the thesis. That thesis was scanned using Urkund software. It indicated only 3% of similar content. 3% of similar content. That thesis was also awarded PhD degree. Both of them got PhD degree. Then accidentally during 2024, the latter one who submitted and got PhD in 2021, that thesis was accidentally scanned with drill bit anti-plagiarism software. It indicated 84% of similar content. Then people in the campus started speaking about the plagiarism and how it should be handled and all that. Then referring to that one, university then formulated a committee. Then the guide was also summoned. The student was also asked to appear before the committee. Then the registrar said, if you have used one word of your own, you show me one word of your own. If you have used, we will see. That is blatant plagiarism. Entire thesis, not even a single word or single sentence of his own he has used. Then we recommended that the university withdrew the doctorate degree. We requested InflipNet Center to remove that thesis from the Shodhganga database. So many cases are there. So repercussions of plagiarism. What happens if I copy up to 50%? Alright, if I copy up to 80%, what happens? InflipNet director took a session in our campus few years ago. He said, day before yesterday, we scanned a thesis for plagiarism check. The similar content was 98%. Then he said the entire thesis is blatant plagiarism. That 98%, only 2% originality was there. What is that 2%? Probably the title might be original. Only the title might be original. That is why it is indicating 95%, 98%. So repercussion, what are the repercussions? Immediate failure of research, retraction of research paper, blacklisting of scientists, subject of discussion in forum, punishable in the court of law, research work is questionable. One of the cases, Gutenberg, defense minister of Germany, he submitted doctorate thesis, he got the degree. Unfortunately, he had copied 66 paragraphs from student dissertations. 17,000 students wrote complaint to the German chancellor. Finally, the thesis was withdrawn. The doctorate degree was withdrawn. Then Gutenberg was forced to resign to the post of defense ministry. This was the repercussion. Repercussion, loss of job, revoked PhD, lawsuits, questioned integrity, damage to reputation, brand name, retraction, talent loss, resource loss. This was the repercussions. German education minister, she also submitted thesis and also got PhD degree, but ultimately, because of plagiarism, the thesis was withdrawn, the degree was withdrawn. Penna Nieto, Mexico president, so he prepared a thesis, entire content was plagiarized content. You see what he says, how he defends. He says, what I have copied is 25 years old, don't worry. Further, he says, don't say it is plagiarized content, it is only a style error. You see how he says, how he wants to defend. Whatever I have copied is 25 years old, why do you worry? So don't say it is plagiarized content, it is only a style error. That's why he wanted to defend his case. This is a case of research misconduct by Anil Potti of Duke University. He published number of articles in Nature Medicine, Lancet Oncology, Blood and Plasma, high impact factor journals. But biggest medical fraud because of cooked up data, false data, fabricated data. You are forced to resign to the post of medical board. South California Medical Board website list 40 as suspended. You are suspended from Duke University. Then another case, Paine. Accidentally, he received a research article for review from elsewhere. You see what he's going to do. One day, he received a research article for review because he was a professor. Then he was surprised to see his own data and interpretation in that article. He already published that article. Some of the authors in some other country copied his data and his interpretation. They prepared an article, submitted to elsewhere for publication in Biosystems Journal, High Impact Factor Journal. So that article came to Paine for review. Review was shocked. Paine was shocked. He recommended for rejection. Don't accept this article for publication. This is blatant plagiarism. He recommended for outright rejection. Later, what the author did, they paraphrased using AI tool. They paraphrased that 16-page article was brought to 9 pages. They sent that article to another journal of Wiley, Proteomics. They submitted the article to Proteomics for the second time. It got published. After a few months, Paine noticed that publication. Then he started criticizing on the retraction watch. It was noticed by 3 million viewers. 3 million. Then finally, Wiley retracted that paper during 2025. Another case, Professor Grimm's Institute of Health and Advanced Research USA. Topic was measurement of gas in patients' blood, but clinical trials were never performed and the funds were misappropriated largely for personal use. Charged with money laundering and fraud, he faced imprisonment for 35 years and a fine of $750,000. You see the extent of punishment. Then Deepak Das, Director Cardiovascular Research Center USA, out of frustration and tension, he suffered stroke and died at the age of 67. This is an account of plagiarism scandal. Matthew Whitaker, he prepared slide to take a session for police academy. He was awarded 2,68,000 contract by Phoenix Police Department to provide training. He prepared 84 slides. Out of 84 slides, he copied 52 slides from Police Chicago Department. He wanted to conduct classes for Police Department. He copied the slides from Chicago Police Department. J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter, highest number of copies sold in the world. 600 million copies of the books have been sold as of today. Only on account of translation into 85 languages of the world, she earned to the tune of $2,000 million. You see the extent. There was a case of plagiarism there also. It was before the court. The judge said it was with reference to a ghost, story of a ghost. Ghost appears suddenly, ghost disappears suddenly, ghost make noise. These are common to all the stories of ghost. Therefore, your contention cannot be accepted. It was acquitted by the court. Then professors in the field of law, Tribe and Algotri, they published number of books, but no references and no bibliography. Please note here, if you publish any research article or if you write a book, there should be some references and bibliography. Don't write without references and bibliography. They are must, because you will be taking data from World Bank report, IMF report, UNDP report. For having taken that information and data, references should be there. Don't forget to put the references. Then this is with reference to South Korea. 179 professors, what they have done, they have taken American textbooks, removed the outer cover page, they have replaced the outer cover page, printing their names on the book. They have distributed among the students of the campus. Now they are facing criminal charges. 179 professors, they have taken American textbooks. They have removed the American authors, In their place, they have put their names and sold to the students of the campus. Now they are facing criminal charges in South Korea. So, Baby Shank song, recently it happened from South Korea. Court dismissed the claim of American composer Jonathan Wright, ruling that his 2011 version of the song lacked originality required for copyright protection. The judge in South Korea took 6 years to give the verdict. You are telling that it is your own song, your own lyrics. No, it was a folk song. Without altering the song, without altering the lyrics, you have put only the guitar sound. That's all. Only to that extent, the originality, the content does not belong to you. Therefore, it was acquitted by the court of South Korea. Another researcher, Department of Astrophysical Sciences, Princeton University. She served also at NASA, Texas Astronomical Society, Harvard University, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Smithsonian Institute, and she received various awards also. She confessed that she never conducted the experiment desired in that study. Nanoparticle is obviously fraud. She explained that I have conducted this study under methodology and that research paper was published. She was appreciated all over the world. Then later on she confessed retraction watch comments. You see the comments on retraction watch. Episode is beginning to develop a bad odor, one of the comments. Shame on the part of Princeton University for promoting it and defending it. She should be expelled from the university. One of the comments. She confessed. She accepted her guilt. To promote transparency, retraction watch database, withdrawal on account of research misconduct, data fabrication, falsification, plagiarism, evidence of ChatGPT writing. As of today, if you go to retraction watch website, there are 66,000 research articles. Removed. The article published in a previous issue stands withdrawn. So month-wise archives are there. Papers of Nobel laureates are also there. They have been withdrawn. Even in India, the research article of C.N.R. Rao has been retracted by Elsevier publisher. Retraction after getting, in some of the cases, there are more than 4,500 citations. Afterwards, it was withdrawn because of some research misconduct. Get retraction news to your email. If you want, they will be sending the retracted papers to your email ID. Database provides details of retracted journal, title of the journal, name of the publisher, name of the author, name of country, subject, reasons for retraction, and DOI link. Retraction watch database, Center for Scientific Retraction. Then here, Council of Scientific Editors. They provide guidelines for retraction. This is under Committee on Publication Ethics of England. Conduct short-term courses also. They provide editing skills for journals and manuscript, publication management program, scholarly communication. Then Council of Scientific Editors. They conduct certificate programs for researchers, authors, and editors. They also publish monographs giving guidelines for retraction. So here these are the preliminary chapters in doctoral thesis. Introduction, review of literature, methods and materials used, profile of institutions and publications of researchers. Similar content is expected here. If similar content is there, usually people will not worry because sometimes similarity will be there regarding methodology, similarity will be there regarding review of literature, then introductory part, then profile of the institution. You cannot create profile, whatever that is already there, either in printed format or in soft copy. You have to take as it is. All those content will be there and similarity will be there usually in this preliminary chapter. It is accepted, no problem. But similarity is not expected in these core chapters. Your data, your experiment, analysis and interpretation, testing of hypothesis, findings and discussions, recommendation, further scope of research and conclusion. Here, similar content is not expected. There is no possibility of copying the content and paragraphs of others. A registrar one day asked us to come with a thesis loaded onto the laptop. We went there. He went to the portion of conclusion. There were 6 pages of conclusion. He said, you see, out of 6 pages, 5 pages he has taken from Wikipedia. No, how come he has taken from Wikipedia? Further, he went to the portion of recommendation. There were 6 recommendations. Again, he said, recommendation 2, 3, 4 he has taken from Wikipedia. No, recommendations and conclusions have to be original. There is no possibility of taking the content of other theses or other research papers. That becomes plagiarist content. That has to be avoided. Even in research article, except in the introductory part and methodology, rest of the portions has to be original. Bulk of the thesis has drastically come down now. So researcher and the guide, they have to put the signature. Adequate measures have been taken to ensure originality of the research output. The researcher and the guide, they have to take the responsibility. Librarian only forward the certificate to the registrar for acceptance. He will not sit in judgment. So guide and the researcher, they have to take the responsibility. Only these 2 people will be putting the signature for the certificate. You can rectify the sentences. The software will fetch you the original sentences. You can rectify. Software will fetch you the bibliography and references. If there are mistakes, you can rectify. UGC says 10% of similarity. Tolerance limit according to UGC of similar content is 10%. How to avoid plagiarized content? Paraphrase. If the content is in 2 pages or 3 pages, don't put quotation mark quotes from the beginning of the first page up to the end of the 3rd page. No, it doesn't look nice. In that case, you have to paraphrase, summarize. That is the method. Then, if you are taking the content from already published source, you cite the source, render references to avoid plagiarism complaint. Then quoting, if you are taking the content or paragraph or sentences as it is, you have to put that one within quotation mark. Then citing your source. If you have already published 6 months ago or 1 year ago in some source, you have to cite the source. Otherwise, it is misleading. The reader will think that you are telling for the first time. No, you have already published 1 year ago. Even though it is your own idea, you should be rendered in references. You should be indicated. You should be familiar with the referencing style. You should stick to a particular referencing style. You must be good in rendering references and bibliography. You must know the referencing styles. Alexandria Ibakin. She has created a graduate from Kazakhstan. She has created a website. If you copy DOI and paste it onto our website, the article will open without paywall. You need not become subscriber. You need not purchase ebooks, research articles, or research report. If you copy DOI or URI and post it onto our website, the content will open. Several hundred millions of papers and books have been accessed. There are a number of cases in United States and even in India. 3 years ago, there was a case in Delhi High Court. The verdict was given. The judge said it is really a case of violation of Copyright Act, but it should not be practiced in India. What is going in other countries, we are not concerned. This was the verdict given by Delhi High Court. This was the website. What is our contention? Our contention is the contributors are researchers. Who is contributing research article? Researchers are the contributors. So to contribute or to publish their article, you are collecting money from researchers. All right. Then further, who are the readers of these research papers. Again, the researchers are the readers or users of research article. To provide access to research article, you are collecting again money from researchers. To publish their article, you are collecting money. To provide access to the article, you are collecting money. You are exploiting the researcher. Therefore, this should not be practiced. With this in mind, she has created a website. If you copy DY or URL without any paywall, without any subscription or purchase price, it will open for references. Thank you. If you have any question, if you need clarification on any of the issues, or if you want to include any of the content in addition to whatever I have told so far, you are welcome.
Sir, good evening, sir. This is Hemavati from Tamil Nadu, sir.